Mary and Joey and Cassie and Roxy, Lee, T-Boone, Shelby and Sharpies. But do you recall the most important fish nerd of all? Father Fish, the shoal leader, has a very white fluffy beard. And if you ever meet him, don't show him any fear. All you gotta do is ask questions. He'll always sort you out. Don't forget your plants and dirt. That will make your tank last and last. Then one cloudy tank here, the fish came to say, if you do it this way, it will change your day. Oh, how the show really loves him, and how he can help us learn. With Father Fish to guide us, it will have a frequent text flow.
Yay, we heard it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we can hear it tonight. Yay.
Hello.
Hi, Joey.
Hello.
Hi, Mary.
Hey,
How are
guys.
you ladies tonight?
We're doing good. Or I'm doing good. Sorry, Joey. I said we're doing good, like I know.
You can answer for me. We're doing good. We're here. We're in one
We're
piece.
here,
We're
present.
good.
I've been to
Right.
Father Fish Academy all day. I did the Wallstat method today and watched your unboxing, and they were fabulous.
We're at 300 hits on Wallstad.
Cool.
It's been up about 4 hours, so we're
Nice.
doing
wow.
good.
Good.
I'm hoping for 1,000 in 24 hours.
Me
We'll
too.
see. We need to keep growing.
That would be
Right.
great.
We need to keep going.
Well,
This
I knew it was the
usually-
perfect.
Yeah, I've watched it through twice after having done it, and it's a little slow in the uptake, but it about halfway through it kind of gets into gear and becomes strong. The views on it have been real strong. We've been getting about 75% view on it. That is,
Okay.
people are watching, which means probably a third of the people who are watching it all the way through.
So your
Right.
retention rate's really
and-
good. Yeah.
Yeah, the retention
Well, no.
rate's real high.
Good.
New people like me, when I came in, I kept hearing about it and kept hearing about it and kept hearing about it. And, people want to know what it is, and they want to know what it's done for you and what you've done for it. And so it's a perfect topic, I believe, because look at what you've done to enhance it.
Well,
So-
and that'll be the next video. The
That's
next
exciting.
video will be where have we gone with
Right.
what we said? How has it helped us?
Right.
But this was really an attempt to do nothing more than review the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I used her outline of the book to do it. So we covered some territory. We'll see. Nobody else has done that. No one else has really tried to, in a systematic way, explain what that book and what her research is all about. So it's really we've gone online. Thomas and I have gone online and looked at everything that's been done about Wallstad, and there is not one video that explains the Wallstad method.
Right.
There are a number of them that apply it and show how it applies to their tank, but none of them have really gone through the book and been true to explaining what's in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes. So I'm hopeful that it's going to reach a wider audience and increase our reach into the fish fam.
Well,
We'll
Well,
see.
I watched it once, but I was in my office working on my sales tax, so I have to watch it again.
Well, it makes me think of when Father Fish is sitting in his office and he's got his little sign behind him that says love, teach, you know, and I think of the teach, that's all I keep thinking about. And it
Right.
feels like it's kind of like Father Fish, the professor, he's given us a lesson, you know, that we can really study and learn from.
Exactly.
And I love that. I really do love that.
So
We want to know why we're here, why we're doing what we're doing, why this works, you know, and it works.
yes, and I have something that I want to mention just because it's kind of funny, but it might lead into when you did this. Do you remember back in the 70s when it was popular to pull out all of your gravel, because that's the substrate that was popular back then, and you'd put it on the stove with white vinegar and boil it?
Yes.
I remember that smell. It went through my head today, and the foam, and that's how they had you do it back then. And did you ever do that, Father Fish? And if so, when did you change to your method?
No, I never did that.
Okay.
I never boiled it. I never had, I'll tell you what happened. When I was a little kid, I would spend the summers on the Chesapeake Bay on the eastern shore of Maryland on a creek. And I'd be in that creek all day, pretty much every day, collecting stuff and bringing it back and keeping it in buckets and tubs and tanks and whatever I could find to keep it in. And I figured out that the best way to keep stuff alive, this is like 6, 7, 8 years old, was to keep it in the way it was in the creek. So I would put dirt in the bottom, I'd put water in from the creek, and I'd put stuff in there, and it would live better than if I didn't do all that. So I kind of figured out very early on that the dirt part, a dirty tank, is a healthier tank than a clean tank.
It took me a while to get there, you know, because when I was 9 or 10, or, you know, when I started, I was just doing what they told me to do at the store. And of course, your tank was doing really well up until they would tell you needed to thoroughly clean it. And then you'd boil everything. And then, of course, it would be a little bit of a disaster after that, which we know why, but I didn't know why.
Right, exactly.
You know? So it took me a while to, you know, come around to a different way of keeping fish. But I was just curious if you'd ever, I don't know what made me think of that smell today of the vinegar boiling.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And you look, and that brown foam was just coming up. I'm surprised my mom let me use her pots for that.
Yeah, really.
She did. So I just was curious, you know.
Interesting. Yeah, it's the reality, of course, is there are still an awful lot of so-called leaders in the hobby who are convinced that the solution to every problem is either a chemical or a piece of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
They basically are taking a pretty much an exclusively financial approach to dealing with the hobby, so that every single aspect of it, every twist and turn, everything you do is tied to something that costs money. And I think it was interesting reading Wallstead today, reading her words on that, where she made exactly that point, that all of the efforts to try to create a slice of nature through extreme effort, high expense, very difficult procedures may well result in some success, but at a cost of the system not being a natural system. And of course, ultimately, what that means is it fails. I've known a lot of people who have been CO2 people,
Mm-hmm.
or synthetic synthetic systems people, additives people, whatever. Every single one of them break their tank down in 1 year. It doesn't last. I haven't broken a tank down because I've needed to in 10 years, and I still don't need to. So, yeah, and that was really what Walstead was saying, was that she wants to get back to the natural system where people use dirt and sand to set up a tank.
Mhm.
And there's still an awful lot of people out there. And that's really my problem with that came up this morning. I have been accused of being an irresponsible retailer. And I think that's absolutely true. I am an irresponsible retailer because I do not make available to my customers everything they can think of or dream of to spend money on. I just don't do it. I run my shop like I would run my fish room. And I sell things to my customers that I use in my fish room. And frankly, I'm a minimalist. I use the least amount of effort and the least expense and the fewest product in order to be able to do what I'm doing. I depend absolutely on Mother Nature to know what she's doing because they're her tanks, they're not mine. When I set them up as best I can with what they're going to need long term, and then I let it go. I feed sporadically, not daily. I feed once in a while. Some tanks I might feed no more than once a month, like with the big fish. Some tanks I never feed at all because the tank is providing food for the fish. So it's a very different approach. And it's one that's it's really difficult to get the message out about it because there's not money involved. If there were money involved, I could buy time, I could buy support, I could buy loyalty. You know, I could pay people to promote. I'm doing the opposite of all that. I'm trying to reach people based on.
Uh-oh, did he freeze?
Yep.
Well, I can tell y'all that this is just a venture of love for me and Joey. We volunteer because we love what's going on here, and we just want people to know these things.
And that's
I'm a
true.
poor girl. I'm poor. Now, I'm poor personally, not in people. I'm rich that way.
You're
But
rich in
financially,
love.
I'm poor.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. But no,
So
you're right.
there he is.
Brianne has a wrench.
Yay.
Who got a wrench?
Brianne, that was
Oh,
the young
thank
lady that we
you.
were talking about this morning.
Thank you for
She's
giving
wanting
her a
some
wrench.
stickers from everybody.
Yeah.
And Pega's sister, Rena, has a wrench.
Okay.
She's
Good.
had one, I believe.
Yep, Pegastar.
Yep. Well, we'll keep track. See
Thank you, Tennessee
what
H2O.
else is going on.
He said, Father Fish, you are in the hobby and not the sponsors, and I appreciate that. Appreciate you for that. Okay. Oh, I see you pinned a comment. All right, there we go. From Pegastar. Kenny E, love you. Kenny E lost a little dog this morning, y'all.
Oh,
And I know how important, well, you and I both know, Joey, and so
Yeah,
does
we
Father
do.
Fish, what these pets mean to us.
You bet. Yeah, Kenny called
Baby
me.
doll.
I talked to Kenny earlier.
Sorry.
Hello,
Today,
RJ.
dear sweet man. He's talking about he and Danny want to come visit, and I would love
Oh, yeah.
out there. He said Danny is a bigger collector than he is. Get
And
her
she
out there.
loves plants.
Yes.
She
She
loves
loves
plants.
plants so wonderful.
Yeah, she
She'll
loves
be
them.
out there day and night. It's
Mm-hmm.
it'll be great, great, great fun.
Yeah. You guys will have a great time. You will. Mary, have you seen a question? I've been saying hi, and I'm not sure if I.
That's all I've seen too so
Okay.
far.
All right.
Here.
Okay.
What is this? Kira. It's funny that the budget setup or simple way is often the best, at least for me, and spending the money on nice plants and fish is much more fun. Yeah, there it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
It is.
Bubble sticker from KJ.
No, it absolutely is. You have your money for your
Yep.
fish and your plants, and
Hey, Roxanne.
that's how it should be.
Oh, Roxanne is here.
Hey, Roxanne.
Y'all, please make sure you subscribe to Foxy's Fishes.
You bet. We need to play her song. I think
Yeah.
that's what's coming up, wasn't it?
Oh, I think so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, because it played tonight. You played Morgie's song and it played.
It just
It did actually. Yeah.
a second later. Yeah,
Yep. I love when she calls you the fish nerd.
that's funny. Yeah.
Hi, RJ's.
I'm
Love
sure I've missed
Roxanne.
a few people, but hello, we're trying to catch everybody. Between me and Mary, try to say hi to everybody.
Yes.
And if
Adkins,
you do
that's
have a
okay.
question, go ahead and put it in.
Right. And you can always highlight either one of our names, Mary Page Flynn or Hat Trick Farm.
Yeah.
And that way we'll be sure not to miss it, but just put your little @ signal or @ whatever. You know what that thing is. That little @ thing. And then put our name behind it.
Yeah.
And then if Cassie B's here, same thing for her.
Yeah.
Let's see. Carrie Corridorable says it's funny that the budget set up. Wait a minute. It's funny that the budget set up or simple way is often the best, at least for me. And spending the money on nice plants and fish is much more fun. That's right.
It is. Oh, what is Ian saying? More.
It's been tried and tested.
Well,
what some of these chemicals do.
Yeah, Ian's saying none of my tanks have dirt, not opposed to it, but I just haven't tried it.
Right.
I've got a Wallstead book too. You should try at least one.
You should try it.
So that
and even
know.
if you
even
if you don't do dirt, it's just a deep substrate. If you just do deep sand.
Beautiful tanks, and he is beautiful plants and everything. But just so that you can see the difference, try one. Set up a nano tank. It won't take you long. Just so you have a comparison, if nothing else.
Hello, Furloughs.
And that's what I did, for my first one. I just set up a nano tank and tried it.
Yeah. Oh, that's this one. I set up a stratum tank, and then I ended up capping it, with 3 inches of sand, like Father Fish said, and it's fantastic. But I have my supplement that I always show off because I can't wait to dirt this new tank if I ever get into the house someday.
And we keep saying you can find the supplement on Get Gals, and that's his supplement that he adds to the dirt.
I like to kind of show this off because I think that's something we need to really put out there. Is a supplement he makes. He mixes this all himself. It's $20, and this will treat enough substrate to do a 100-gallon tank. This is what you put into your soil. You add organic potting soil mix, black cow, and peat moss. And then you make your layer up under your gravel and your sand, and then, like I said, cap it with sand, and your plants are going to grow forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Amen.
Amen.
Just like the song, forever and ever. Amen.
Forever and ever. Amen. I'm gonna love you. Okay, sorry.
It's all right. We like it all. So Father Fish, Koi Fish is
That's
here.
right.
Can you give Koi Fish a wrench because they have been here before?
Yes, sure has.
And do you
thank
have
you,
anything to add to that, Father Fish?
Right, Tennessee H2O. You nailed it. He said, I love that Father Fish tries to help everyone in the hobby instead of some people that are out there only to respond to super chats. Super chats help so much. But that's why Father Fish has us up here with him so he can try to get to all the questions.
Yes.
Even if they're silly, we don't care. It might be a beginner, their first time here.
Is that koi fish you're talking about?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And,
Oh,
and
for
actually,
real?
singlemom.com just came in, and they have been here before too. So I guess while
Yes.
you're passing them out.
Yep, both of those.
The
Hello,
thing is, we
singlemom.com.
were all first timers in the fish hobby
Right.
at some point, and every question is important, and they need to have it answered. So
Oh,
sometimes,
for
yes,
real.
we may have all heard the answer, but they haven't.
Well, that's right.
Exactly.
That's really
That's
true.
right.
We need to have the patience so that everybody can get their questions answered.
Because guess what? They may stay in this hobby just because we answered a simple question.
Exactly.
It could be anything. For Real says she had an exciting announcement, Father Fish. Let's see, where'd you go, For Real? I lost you that quick. Boy, it jumped. Said, I wanted to tell y'all some exciting news that 2 of my 4 baby parrot convict hybrid babies are albino and 2 are blue. I'm very excited. That is
Nice.
wonderful.
Very nice.
Okay. 620 Master Black. You want me to read it?
Sure.
Okay. Hey guys, what do you think about the expensive soil they sell? I only heard that it doesn't do much, unlike the soil taken from nature, but yet I keep seeing people buy it. Like buying yeah.
Well, you know, part of the mentality in our culture is if you throw money at something, you deal with it. You deal with it by throwing money at it. It's a way to be able to feel like you've accomplished something without applying any intelligence or understanding to the situation. The reality is you can do this hobby and be fully, wholly successful without spending 1 penny. You could have any fish you want to have, any plant you want to have. You could have the biggest tank you want to have. You can do it all without spending any money at all. Now that may mean you're going to have to get things when they come along, and not when you'd like to have them. You may have one thing come available to you that you're not prepared for, but that's where you've got to be flexible and take what comes and use what you can and do what you can with what you have. It's the people who get into this hobby by spending a lot of money don't stay in the hobby because they're not learning anything. They're just throwing money at it in the hopes that somehow that's going to make it work, and it doesn't. If you don't understand what you're doing, and if you're not doing something that is appropriate and workable,
Thank you, Xanadudu.
you're going to fail. Ideas for stocking 2 new 40-gallon breeders and 20 longs. Dirted and heavily planted. Finex stingrays for lights.
Could everybody?
40-gallon breeder and a 20-gallon breeder.
I was just gonna say, hit the thumbs up.
Yeah. Please, we got 50. We've got 60 watching right
And-
now, and we have 35 thumbs up.
Exactly. Hit the thumbs up.
Let's see this. Let's see those numbers climb.
Please.
Xanadu, you're going to need to work this one out. What I will say is that you can do 2 very different populations of fish. The 40-gallon, because it's a deep tank front to back, allows you a very wide variety of fish. For example, you could do a whole series of dwarf cichlids like rams, credensis, and other small cichlids, keyholes. I could think of a half a dozen that you could put in that tank that would do really, really well. The 20-gallon, you might consider as a tetra tank or a tank for very small fish. You could easily do 100 small fish in that 20-gallon long tank. So, look at doing two different kinds of groups of fish that'll be appropriate in each of them. I mean, you could do things like rainbows in the 40. That would be an adequate size tank for 3 or 4 pairs of rainbow fish, or more for that matter. A lot you can do with it. Right? Keep us posted on what you're thinking about and what you're coming up with. Be happy to talk it through some of it. But it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Excited for you.
Very nice.
Trying to hit that thing.
Koi Fish just had a nice statement. Sorry.
No, go ahead. That's the one.
Okay. It just said, I enjoyed the Wallstead video you put out. I have a 5-gallon Wallstead tank going on 3 years now. It's been such a low maintenance tank.
Yep, you bet. Yeah, that was really a great experience for me doing that video. Obviously I could have done it a different way. I could have highlighted other things, but I tried to stay true to what Diana is saying in the book and what her purpose of writing the book is. So I didn't go into any detail at all. I couldn't do that in 15 minutes, but I did try to cover the topics that she carried and explain some of her thinking for why it was important to cover those topics. The video that's coming out tomorrow will be, it'll explain what I have done since learning the Wallstead method over the last 10 years to resolve some of the issues that she raised, which are mainly to be able to create a system that lasts permanently.
Yes.
The book does not describe that. She had not gotten that far yet by the time that book was published nearly 20 years ago.
Right.
Just want to say thank you to Mariddle and Lori. Sorry. They are just wonderful. They really are. Really, truly wonderful, you guys. Hey, and just like, if you're in the chat and you have like some illness questions, like we discussed dropsy and what was bloat this morning.
Yeah.
And we've got people like Stephen, the biologist here, who is a board certified veterinarian, and he does fish veterinary medicine. And you can really get some great conversations going on in the comments. So,
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Roxanne. Oh, wait, let's see here. Singlemom.com is for you, Joey. I just got a beautiful froghead goldfish.
Okay.
Oh, and you have a great night, too. What's a froghead goldfish? I don't know what that is.
I don't even know what a froghead goldfish is, so I mean,
I
look that one up.
Yeah, I got some beauties today. We're going to try to get pictures up tomorrow. We got a bunch.
Congrats, and I'm glad you're happy with your new goldfish. That's awesome.
Yes. I just want to know what it is. I want to see a froghead goldfish.
I've heard of a lot of different types, but I've never heard of that one.
Right, Stephen. He said Wallstead is also the first one to mix pre-celled bacteria in an already established tank. She was an amazing scientist, and she is a staple in the process. Absolutely. Oh, Susan, hello, and we love you so much. She says, lurking, converting video files, and editing Christmas choir concert files for Sunday.
Thanks, Susan.
Oh, it says a cross bubble eye with an egg. Wait a minute. Do you see
Oh, with
that,
it.
Joey?
Okay, with the egghead. Yeah, I know what they
Oh,
both
neat.
are. So okay, that's a cross. Okay. Well, nice.
Mariddle says they're derpy. They got the little cute derpy faces.
Yeah.
Y'all, I got to run just a second. I hear my grandkids going crazy in there. I'll be
Sure.
right back. They're back.
Right. They'll be back.
Let's see, what's Foxy talking about here? I don't know, something about Petsonics.
Yeah. Furloughs is. I was talking to Xana. Dude, everybody's kind of talking to each other, so it's hard
Right.
sometimes. I jump in sometimes thinking I've got a question, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, it's a response to an earlier
Yeah, yeah.
something, and then
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense, and you try to go back and find it and can't.
You
So-
got it.
Right.
You got it. So, is there anything else you just kind of want to elaborate on as far as the video today? Or is there any other point you want to get into a little bit more, or are you
Well,
just
no,
gonna
not
wait?
really, because
Okay.
the next video is going to cover it.
Should explain
I
it. Okay.
Yeah, I frankly can't wait to get to it.
Okay.
I haven't made it yet. We haven't done it. Other things keep getting in the way, like computers crashing and whatnot.
Yeah. All the
But we're
technical
getting-
difficulties.
We're getting there. We're
So
getting
you
there.
said you got goldfish, or you're getting more goldfish, Father Fish? What are you
Somebody
getting?
brought in 9 arandas today,
Oh,
some of which are as big as a softball.
wow.
And
So-
beautiful.
I see you, Master Black.
What
Just-
colors are they?
They're mostly orange, a lot of white. One of them has a little bit of black. Most of them have really big finnage. They're all
Nice.
they're all tri-fins. They're no single fins,
Yeah.
but stunningly pretty fish. Good conformation, good body conformation. They look real nice. We're going to try to get some pictures up tomorrow. At least do a video of pictures of them.
Well, that would be nice, Mary.
Raise my hand. Just because Master Black's asked this a couple of times, but Master Black is in the waiting room of Discord and would like to be summoned in.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do that.
That's nothing I would be able to see.
Let's see if I can do that
All right.
in the waiting room.
Kira Corridorville would like to know if Diana Wallstat's still active in the
Who
hobby.
is it? Who's in the waiting room?
Master Black.
Master Black.
I don't see him.
Oh, furloughs.
And-
Maybe try to go back in, Master Black,
Yeah.
and he will look for you.
And then
Let's
you
see.
said Kira Corridorville wanted to know if Diana Wallstead was still active in the hobby.
Yeah,
Is that the
like
question?
is she still active in the
Yeah.
community or the hobby?
No, she's really not.
Yeah, she's
Hasn't
very
been for
private.
some years.
Yeah.
I talked to her a couple of years ago and tried to encourage her to. Is it Red Lord 93? Is that? I am Master Black. Got it. Okay. Did not know who you were. Gotcha.
And then they have a question, and it says, I wonder, is there a way not to cut the Aranda's, she's calling it thing, on the head when it becomes huge?
Come again?
She's wondering, how when an Aranda gets, the growth
It's
gets
cat.
large, it starts
Yeah,
to
when
cut
it's
the
cat,
eyes.
it's real big. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can help, if you don't have to cut it, but if it's eventually covering the eyes, you're gonna have to trim it. Correct?
Well, you can. It depends how you're keeping it. There are fish that survive blind, but yeah, you can trim the cap.
Right.
You just got to be careful that you're doing it in in a clean enough environment
Right.
that it's not going to become infected.
But
Fish don't have a lot of blood flow, and blood flow is what causes healing to occur. So when you're
in that
doing
area.
something like that, you gotta be sure that number one, it's not going to bleed out, because you can do that. You can cause a fish to bleed out,
Yeah.
or the reverse, that it's going to infect. So you got to be careful
Yeah.
about
But
that.
I mean,
I've never done it. Never had the
I've seen it
situation
done.
come up. Pardon?
I've seen it done, but I don't keep those kinds, so I haven't had to
Right.
do
Exactly. Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I would think if you get to the point where it can't see, you would want to address it. That I would imagine.
Yeah. I would imagine so. It's a sort of thing anybody can do. It takes a delicate touch and a lot of
Would y'all please join us?
a willingness to do a risky thing carefully.
Yeah. Now, Koi Fish says that they see Diana Wallstead in the Aquatic Plant Central Forum still. She seems active there.
Yeah, with Bill Barr. Yeah, they are active. That you can find that on Facebook.
Okay.
Alex is going to have a stream after your stream, Father Fish. I just dropped the link for his stream if we'd all go over that way afterwards. Roxanne,
Okay.
thank you. And Cassie B is going
Yes.
to have a video coming out either today or in the morning. Just wanted to let y'all know.
So I show 53 watching and 46 thumbs up.
Oh,
Could we
come
get a
on.
couple more thumbs
50
up?
likes, y'all. We can do it.
Yeah.
Where's those 3 people? It's not me. Let me make sure. Have you liked your own video, Father Fish?
No, I went and checked. That's why I checked. Make sure I.
Probably not. Let me look.
Go check on it. Let's do this.
I'm there.
It's easy to come into the chat and not hit it. I get it.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I
we're
do
still
it
at 47. Oh, we got 54 watching and 47 likes. If y'all
We're getting
please would.
close.
49.
All right, there we go. Go, go, go.
One more. One
Might as
more.
well cheerlead.
One more, guys.
One more time. Hit it.
We got no thumbs
I
down.
know, Lee. Thank you, Lee, for staying up and being with us. Same thing for T-Bone and everybody in
I know.
Australia. Craig, we appreciate y'all. Well, this is early for
Absolutely.
Australia right now. I
They
think
hang
they're
with
about,
us in the middle of the night.
yep. They sure do.
Thank you.
One more.
One more.
Oh, yeah, and anybody that wants to reach out to Stephen, I've got his contact information, and you can actually contact probably like Father Fish, or you can contact me on Facebook Messenger, and I'm under Paige Flynn. Sometimes it takes a little while for me to answer, but I usually do answer at some point. So just keep trying.
Good to know.
Yeah. But if you've got anything like diseases or some specific veterinary type questions, Stephen has offered his support to Father Fish and to the channel, and we really appreciate that. Let's see, who was it was asking about the black sand? But a lot of people answered it.
Okay.
But the Tractor Supply has a black sand blasting sand.
Yeah. They've got 2 grades.
Yeah, that's what I didn't know.
Coarse and a fine.
Okay.
And either will work.
And
Okay.
one thing I've noticed is the fine is a little more brown, and the coarse is much blacker. If that matters to
interesting.
anybody.
So, like when you look at it on the bags, it'll say like 0.5 grain, or it's got like a number beside it. What is the number we're looking for?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, but it says fine. The fine one says fine.
Fine on it.
And
Okay.
the other one is just
And it's blacker. The other one's
and the
blacker.
blue bag is the coarser grade.
Okay.
And I think the one that has red on it is the fine. And the color is a little different.
Okay,
The
good to
fine
know.
is a little bit more, has a little brown tone to it.
You just helped me a bunch because I went in there and I looked at it and was like, I don't know which one I'm supposed to get. So I went and got the expensiver.
The expensive
I love
stuff.
when I make
Yeah.
words up. Expensiver sand.
Expensive sand. Okay.
I got the most expensiver sand.
I mean, like Father Fish said, either would work, but the course
Right.
is in the blue bag.
Okay, good deal. I don't have big aquariums, but if you're doing big aquariums, you want to go with something like that.
Oh yeah.
T-bone. Never mind. I can't say that. It just made me laugh.
Greg has an interesting question. He
Sorry,
said
Greg.
plants that are not planted in the substrate, such as Anubias or Java fern, struggle with your method. And this is based
Good
on this
question.
understanding that I try to keep nutrients out of the water column. All I'm really trying to do is keep excess nutrients
Yeah.
out and not keep nutrients out because they're being produced all the time. The fish are producing them, the snails, the organic material such as microscopic life, algae, plants, everything that's alive in that tank is creating nutrients, and so there are adequate nutrients there. What I'm trying to do is two things. I'm trying to create a very intensely nutrient rich substrate, and I'm trying to block it from having direct access to the water column for obvious reasons, because it is so intense that it could overwhelm the water column if it got into it. It would provide far more nutrient than than any amount of plants would be able to handle, and it would just be overrun by algae or would foul. It'd be one or the other. So the the the, the notion here, I'm kind of giving away a little bit about what I'm trying to get at tomorrow, but the concept that I'm working on is to provide a resource for the tank that will be a very long-term resource that is structured in such a way as to keep it from being a short-term problem. Now, that's one of the problems, one of the major, actually two of the major problems that Diana Wallstead left unresolved in her book. If you read the book, you go to the end of it, she talks about two problems. One of the problems is that the substrate runs out of nutrition in about a year. The other problem is that the dirt creates excess organics in the water column. So those are the two primary problems that hobbyists have with a dirted tank, and we've developed as a result of her research and others over the last 10-15 years, we've developed some ways to be able to overcome that. Now, I have not run my system by Diana Wallstead, and she may look at it and decide she doesn't like it. That's a distinct possibility. All I have to go on is the fact that I've been doing it for 10 years and it's working, not just for me, but for hundreds of other people who I've convinced to try it.
Not seeing any other questions. I'm just a lot of chatting and just supporting each other. I love it, guys.
Lori, thank you.
We're having a good time.
She has to go. I think
Yes.
she said it was her son's birthday. Thank you because you're always doing such a great job.
Okay. Oh, Lori, happy
And
birthday.
I hope he has a happy birthday. Have a good
Yes.
little celebration.
Y'all make sure you subscribe and like to Lori's videos. She
Mhm.
is one heck of a community member here. She's
She
wonderful and she
is.
helps
And while
so
we're
much.
at it,
Hey, J.
let's,
Ro.
thank you, Roxanne and Mariddle and Timo and
Mariddle.
anybody
Yep.
else who's dropping links tonight. Thank you so much.
And y'all,
That's
with
a
the
big
blue
help.
wrenches, everybody's in blue. So that means that if you think of like Father Fish is talking about, somebody just mentioned the algae is your bestie video. You can drop that link if you want to. You can drop different links that go with what we're talking along with here with Father Fish. If you think of one of his favorite videos, because there are a lot of people that come in that might be their first time here. Hello, Bateson.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen Science Gal since the other night, and I hope she's listening, but she loves us so much. She loves this show. She enjoys it, and she is
Well, I hope she's
delightful.
listening.
She is a sweetheart.
And as you just mentioned, if you have a wrench, you're welcome to drop your own link so that people can find you and go to your channel.
Atkins has a question, though. Let's see here. Oh, wait. J-Ro does, too. There's two questions. Okay, the first one's about a week or two ago. Father Fish posted a video inside of his aquarium. That was the angelfish video with an underwater camera. What model of camera did you use?
It was a GoPro 40.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then Ian asked at 646, so is that why you use all the extra minerals, Father Fish and Mary Page, talking about, I guess, in the dirted substrate? Yeah.
That's exactly right. The idea is to provide a resource, because once you got the water in the tank, you can't get anything back under that sand. So the idea is to provide a resource that's going to be there for a long time. And some of the material I put in takes a long time to break down enough to become available to the roots of plants as nutrition. The iron oxide, for example, that I put in takes at least a year to chelate, to soften and break down enough for plants to be able to take it up. And there are other things as well. So the idea is to provide a super rich, deep substrate that is not going to run out of energy in 6 months to a year. And it's based on the recognition that the tank will eventually become stable and will eventually be able to supply itself. It takes a very long time for that to happen. That's like a 2, 3, 5 year process to get it to the point where you have a full cycle that is cycling everything in the tank and keeping everything in balance. So in the meantime, in the process of getting there, you've got to have adequate nutrition in that subsoil to be able to maintain plant growth and the like. And Dinah Wallstead made a specific, she recognized the limitation of the soil to be able to do that. So the solution is to do additives. Number one, to do additives that will overcome that. And number two, to cap those additives in order to be able to keep them out of the water column.
Yeah.
Father Fish.
Yeah.
Susan from
You got
SLC
it.
Aquatics has a testimonial statement for you at 6:34.
Thank you, Joey. That was driving me crazy. I couldn't find it. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate it. No, thank you.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to leave Susan out. I was waiting
didn't
for him
wanna
to
leave
have a
out
minute
either,
to
so
take some
I
time.
had to scroll a long ways to find it, but I found
Oh,
it.
good. Thank you. I'm so glad you got it because I couldn't find it. But
Can you
Susan,
see it,
y'all,
Father
Susan
Fish?
from SLC Aquatics is like
She's
no
You
other.
want to
We love
read
her.
it, Joey?
I will read it. Father Fish, Father Fish, I love that I converted to deep substrate. My schedule has kept me away from my tanks. They are fed every 3 days, and I topped off tanks today, and they are doing great. And it's your method, your dirty method.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Hello, bad
So
luck,
she's just
May.
confirming for everybody it works.
Yes. And Susan is just, do we have Susan's link dropped? I'm sure we have, but just,
I'm
y'all
sure
make sure you
we
follow
can get
Susan.
Roxanne Moretto or T-Bone to drop it
Yep.
for us.
Oh, we're up to 58 likes. Yes, we got 60
Yes.
watching. I love it, guys. Let's get this going.
I got to go out and come back in so I can
I know.
see it. I finally
guys.
figured out that's what I have to do to see the update.
I just love seeing everybody chatting with each other and just sharing, and it's just amazing.
Absolutely.
Bad luck, May.
Is
That's a
Lee
new one.
leaving us? Good night, Lee.
Yeah, he was like, he's tired. We love you, Lee. You go get your
Love
beauty
you, Lee.
rest.
Say hi to Sue.
And kiss Sue good night.
I'm sorry,
Love you,
what?
Susan.
Motherfish?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's interesting. Coffee is saying his granddad used to put an iron bolt and a copper key under his substrate. Funny how, in a way, he was right. Yeah, you
Mhm.
bet. Absolutely.
All right. Oh, we still got a few more minutes. It's 6:51. We're doing good.
Is there anything else anybody would like to ask before we're
Right.
wrapping up here?
Lee, wait a minute. Oh, Lee asked a question at 6:48. He said, "Are there any plants my goldfish, Mork and Mindy, won't eat so their tanks remains healthy without spending money all the time?"
Yeah,
Oh,
but you
sorry.
need to get the Vallisneria should work. Swords will work. Um,
Anubias.
any of the Javas, the Java fern,
Yeah.
Anubias. Anubias is a good one. Anything that's a strong enough plant that they're not going to be able to easily chew it up. Goldfish are voracious plant eaters. They love plants. we feed ours
They do.
duckweed. That's about all they ever get is duckweed. But we grow it by the pound every day, so we don't run out.
But I would say I use a lot of Anubias in my goldfish tanks because it's one of the few, like you said, that they actually leave alone.
Yeah, and those are really nice plants. They're really a very pretty plant.
They are.
A very showy plant.
Hello, Blue Betta. That's a new one in. Or Beta. Blue Beta.
Blue Betta.
Well, it's Beta, so it's
should
one
we be concerned about toxin or ammonia spike from garden soil? What we're going to do, Blue Betta, is we're going to cap that with 2 inches of sand, which will prevent it from leaching into the water column. So that's the solution that we have devised to overcome that problem.
Right.
Is to create a semi-permeable layer deep enough that water will not flow through it in either direction. But that detritus will precipitate into, albeit very, very slowly. And you may need to add a little more sand. If you find it's leaching through, add a little more sand. Now, I had a fella call me tonight on the way home. He set up a tank about a month ago, and it was perfect and beautiful. A lot of fish in it, nice fish, all doing very well. Deep substrate with sand. And he said, for about a week now, there's been a lot of little tiny stuff floating around in there. And as we talked, I found out that about 2 weeks ago, he did a partial water change and he used his siphon to stir up the bottom. He said he didn't go very deep, but he did it deep enough that he sucked dirt up out of the bottom and released it into the water column. So he broke the primary rule, the primary law of the deep substrate, which is that it remains absolutely untouched. You never stir it up. You never clean it. You never even go a quarter of an inch into it. You do not mess with the substrate. You leave it absolutely alone. And if you notice that there's dirt leaching up, add a little more sand to it to keep that from happening. So he learned his lesson. He's adding another half inch of sand to compensate for what he did, and it should be fine. There should not be any lasting problem at all. But it's important to understand what you're creating is you're creating a natural barrier that's separating the water, like the water in a pond is separated from the mud in the bottom of the pond, generally by about a foot deep layer of water that doesn't move much, but that also doesn't support much life. We're doing sand instead of that. And by life, I mean fish. There's a lot of microscopic life in that down at that level. What we're doing is sand as a way to be able to maintain that environment so it's attractive and not cloudy with dirt all the time. All right.
Anyone that's just come in, if you can hit the thumbs up, that would be awesome because a few people just came in. If you wouldn't mind giving Father Fish.
Yeah, and we're up to 63. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
That's great.
That
I'm
would be
always
awesome.
excited. I'm always saying I'm so excited. I know I'm aggravating, but I don't care.
It's nice to see it.
I'm excited about what we're doing here.
I think it's great.
I'm happy. I won't say
You're
excited. I sound
excited.
goofy.
What you are.
She's excited.
Let's see here. Wait a minute. Does Father Fish? Okay, Fish and Shrimp by Rich says, does Father Fish have a video building one of his tanks where he bought the products? Like what kind of products? He's got a video where he sets up his substrate where he shows you everything he uses in it. And we will find it. Oh no, here comes the grandbabies. Okay, I'm being quiet.
You need to go to the channel. Go to my channel. I've got hundreds of videos all about setting up a new tank and doing a substrate. All right, here we go.
Thank you, Fishy Von, for giving him a thumbs up. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Give Father Fish a thumbs up tonight.
That's right. We had a great chat, y'all.
We did. We had a good one.
Enjoyed it.
It's Roxanne's little song.
I know it's not playing very loud again. Whatever you did earlier, it worked. That is so cute. Y'all remember Alex is on next. Oh, there's Here Fishy. I love it. See if I can drop his link again.
All right, boys and girls. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
You are
Father
welcome.
Fish.
Good night, everyone.
We enjoyed it. Good night.
Good night, all. Bye for now.
Good
See
night,
you in
Mary
the
Ellen.
morning.